Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a final demo of my Capstone project, which I've been working on for the last year. So we've had 4 months in the inception and research phase, and the last 4 months have been for actually developing and implementing this project. So here it is. It's called Landscape Architect. So I'm going to log in, and you see this blue box that appears on the ground right in front of me. And what I mean is it's actually on the ground. It shows and it maps what our floor plane is. So as I walk around, it's going to expand, and if I just showcase what a project's going to look like. So I'll create a project. Let's call it Derek's project. Now I'm going to choose a client. Sure. I'll choose Tim Cook because he's the one who actually gave us and helped us with the inspiration of this project. So here, I'll create a project for Tim. As you can see, as I keep walking around, this blue box will expand and map all of the floor that I wish, and it will also map, if I wanted to, it can map table surfaces as well. So, see? Just have to walk around a little bit. But it will expand if I move around enough and get enough angles. But anyway, so we've added a couple different assets, or what we like to call assets, are actually plant materials. So what the designer would use when they're actually creating a design. So let's just start off with the top one, a coniferous tree. We showcase this one. It locks itself into the real world on a coordinate system, and we can go up, we can inspect what our plant or our tree is going to look like. We can give it a full walk around. That looks good. Okay. And we don't have just a coniferous tree. We have pine trees. We have spruce trees. We have hemlock trees. We even have some bushes like cherry laurels. I'm just going to put that over here because we're running out of space over there. So also, not just... So we have burning bushes. Ooh. We have, what else do we have? We have some fir trees, some willemia, some birch, and tiger lilies. So, full spread of all of the plant materials that we have in our application, and they're all stuck in real world coordinates. So as I walk up to them, I can see what they look like. Got some good texture on the pine needles on this tree. This is a willemia. Ooh. And this is our birch and our tiger lilies. So, accordingly, if I don't like stuff in my project, I can just tap to delete it, as long as this destroy toggle is on. So, and another thing I'd like to point out is our running total on the side. You can see it's at $205 right now. That's because that is the total amount that each tree is worth right now, summed up together. So as I start getting rid of the trees, you'll see that the price will drop accordingly. And you can see that this right here, which would be our hemlock, is $95. So I'm just going to tap to delete. Likewise, I'm just going to show you the save functionality. So let's put a coniferous again. And I really like the fir tree because it looks really good. The textures are really nice. So I like my project as is, I like those two trees. How do those look when we would change the growth slider and they grow throughout the years? Well, it's probably going to grow pretty fast and pretty large too. They might actually overlap. So that gives the designer some idea of what size and what space they should have these two trees apart. So, okay, if we grow them, yeah, they do overlap, but they'll provide us with a decent amount of cover in the coming years. All right, I like that. Okay, let's leave them like that. Let's leave them at half grown. Likewise, we have our sunlight engine working, which will change the effect of light on these plants throughout the day. So I have a +1 time progression and a -1 time progression. If I keep pressing the +1, it will change how fast our sunlight moves over this project. So as we get into the morning, you can see the sunlight change and get dark again as we go into night. And so as we go into morning, we get a nice light coloring. And I'll stop that just to show that that's going to showcase what it looks like in the morning. We also have our sunlight sitting right there. Right there, that's where our sunlight is sitting, which is at around 9:30 in the morning. Okay. Going back, we can also change things like the date, because we all know that sunlight is affected by the day of the year because of in the winter, we get shorter days, and in the summer, we get longer days. So I want to see January 28th. Let's just do that. And if I set the day, you can see the sunlight change position, not by a lot, but by a factor that it's important to note which day of year it is. And as you log in, the day of year is captured for the designer, and also our longitude and latitude plays a huge role in the sunlight engine because it factors off of where you are on the Earth. So I'm going to reset my day. You'll see the sunlight engine jump back to where it was. Go home. And you know what? I like this project. Let's just save it as is. We save it. We can go home. You know what? I want to see that project again because I figured out what it looked like. And I'm a designer, so I can't remember every project that I make, which is why I can save them. So let's go load that project up again. Okay, right at the top, Derek's project. I'll look away from where our plants were, just to showcase to you that they'll stick in the exact same location. So, load up Derek's project. Okay, the running total is at 95, which is correct. And if we look around, we look up, hey, our trees are in the exact same spot that they were we saved them in. Cool. Awesome. Similarly, I could just add a Willemia there. Cool, I like that. So I'll save. Now, if I go home, and I load that project again, everything's in the exact same spot. And our running total updates accordingly. So we've created a way for designers to also purchase new assets or new plant material. So if we go to our store, you can see that we've already purchased everything, but in future implementations, we'd add a way to implement microtransactions so that designers would be able to buy individual plants like this, or even packages of plants, so they could get not just one birch tree, but a selection of 20 different birch trees, so that they could provide a full-out model of what a yard would look like, because as we know, no tree really grows the exact same. So having a plethora of different shapes and sizes of these birch trees would give the designer a better way to visualize the randomness, or the random seeds that trees can have when they grow. Now, just some other stuff, which are using our database, our client menu, from which we can add, update, and delete new clients. And as well as we can check out what we own already. So our owned assets list. So this includes a price, a name, and a description. So telling you a little about the asset or the plant material that you have. And you can also change the plant price just to update what it's going to be worth. And this is helpful because sometimes designers have different costs and different prices that they need to associate with different plants, because it's their price, it's not always the price that they're getting the plants for, so they need to add in the value on top of the already known value of the plant price. So that's going to change and vary from designer to designer. And that is it for our project. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration.